Welcome to Live, Laugh, Talk, His and Hers with Mico. Say hello, Mico.
Hello, Mico.
It is always a joy having you today, and we're going to have fun. So today we decided, audience, that we were going to talk about something familiar to everybody. Roommates. The good, if there's good, right? The bad and the ugly of having roommates. And I would venture to say most of us have had a roommate, whether it was college or whether it was a sibling at home you shared a room with, whether it was a cousin, friend, spouse. Hey, spouses are roommates. And they could be awful roommates. I think be great roommates. Let's give spouses a shout out.
Get away from the spouse though. They in the bed. That's more than a roommate.
Yeah, that's I guess a little bit more than a typical roommate, because you don't want everybody in your bed. You're right. It could be any type of body, but when we look at ourselves, when you look at yourself, Miko, would you say you've been a roommate before? Have you had a roommate?
I got one now.
Okay. I've had one in the past. I would venture to say I was a good roommate. I know I'm bragging on myself, but I would now. My roommate was good too, because they like to cook, so that's always a good thing. And then I'm a clean freak, so it worked. That was okay. That worked for us. Would you say you're a good roommate?
I mean, I think I'm a good roommate. I'm clean. I clean up after myself. I am half the time I'm not even here, so the house is pretty much yours. And then the other half the time that I am
No.
here, I think half the time I'm not home. 1/4 of the time, if I'm home, I'm in my room, and then the other 4 of the time you might see me. You might, yeah.
But I guess our audience could answer
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, because people be like, people be like, I'm a house. What is it? A house? I'm a homebody. So even if I'm home, I'm still in my room. So I'm in the room. I'm not roaming around the house. So yeah, you got the house pretty much to yourself. So yeah, I think I'm pretty good.
So I think that'd be a good roommate. I mean, like I was saying, I think our audience could probably speak on whether they've been a good roommate or a threat to society. Some people think they're good roommates and they're
Right.
not. But yeah, for me, I think that probably would be awesome if I had a roommate that was in their room all the time. Hanging there, and the house was pretty much mine to roam around. That could be fun, or it could be awfully lonely.
And that's it. Because I'm such a, you know what I'm saying? I stay to myself so much. Now, don't get me wrong. We be out there, we chit chat most of the time, but for the most part, yeah, I'm in my room. I don't play loud music. I don't have a lot of company over. You got some people, they just, company in and out the house and whatever. I don't do none of that. I'm really to myself pretty much.
Okay. Well, hey, that's a good roommate to me. I would venture to say that's a good roommate. That sounds awesome. But if we're going with the good, let's start with the good first. We'll do the good, the bad, and the ugly, like the old movie. I think a good roommate split the bills fairly and on time.
Right.
That'd be a good quality to have. Other things, maybe like late night talks and conversations. Maybe somebody to watch movies with, or would be cool as being a good roommate. Are there any qualities that you think of right off the top of your head that could be?
So I would love to watch movies and stuff. I ain't got no friends yet because I just moved in. Once the couch and all that stuff come and I start furnishing stuff, then yeah, I'll probably be out of my room more. But because we don't have the furniture downstairs yet, it's more like I'm just in my room.
Yeah.
Also, that's another big thing with roommates, paying the bills on time. Because you say on time, but it's always going to be in one person's name and not the other. Y'all can Y'all can
Yeah.
split them. Somebody could say, okay, I'm gonna have the water bill in my name. I'm gonna have electric in my name, things like that. But at the end of the day, it's gonna fall on one person or the other.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you just got to make sure that your person is paying on time and not like, oh, well, she'll pay it and I'll get it back to her when I can, type of thing.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That's not
that's
it.
a major thing. Just making sure that the person, I've
Yeah.
had those instances where, I'm paying and the person is just like, well, it's paid. So I'll just make sure I get it back to you.
Yeah. And then I think other good qualities, could be like I mentioned earlier, where one cooks and one cleans, or it's complement
Man,
each other
let
kind of
me
thing.
tell you, my roommate, if nothing else, she can throw down. I ain't got to. Let me tell you, last night, we were talking last night was one of the nights I was just out and about in the house. And we were talking and I told her, I was like, man, I got a taste for some peanut butter cookies. And she was like, I said, I think I'm going to ride to Walmart. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I said, I think I'm going to ride to Walmart and get me one of those Pillsbury packs and just cook cookies.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, yeah, I think Walmart is closed. I was like, yeah, it is. And then, she went downstairs to make me some cookies and she didn't have all the ingredients.
Wow.
So she made a blueberry cake from scratch
Oh my
and
God.
made, yes, and made her to go over it and then threw a frosting over top
Oh,
of that. This was last night. This was like almost midnight. I was like, oh
goodness
my
gracious.
God, like what? Yeah, she can cook. She cook. She throw down.
Well, that qualifies as a
Yes,
good.
one
That's
extra
that's
good.
that is great. That ain't even good.
Like having a
That's
chef in your house. Just live with
yeah.
you. You got a chef living
Well,
with you. Whatever you want, you think about it. Don't say it out loud because she gonna be like, got you. Yeah.
wow. Well, I mean, that's an awesome quality. I like that one. That's
It's
hard to
hard to
top.
top, but like, everybody like food.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Everybody like food.
So
And she clean up stuff. Like she's
yeah.
not
So
one of them cooks that, leave everything out. I cook, so no. She cook
yeah,
and she clean up behind herself. So yeah, I give her that. I give her that. She definitely got it. Definitely.
it can't beat that. Well, yeah, she wins in that
Mhm.
category. That's for sure. My God. Um. Wow. And then too, for those who met online or whatever else, and then become lifelong friends, I guess that could be a good quality. I've heard those
Oh,
stories where they become friends. Um, one of my friends, they even got married. they it turned into they met online. I think it was Craigslist or something, and needed a roommate, and you know,
wow.
turned out
Oh,
to be a marriage. So
oh,
wow, yeah,
that's
that's
a
crazy.
story to tell your kids.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That's a story. Kind of like I always like to tell people the story of how Janelle and I met. It's people laugh first and they're like, wow, but the roommate thing, that's really classic, right? They're kind of like Three's Company, but without Chrissy or without the other. It married the
Everybody else
one.
away.
Yeah, that worked. That works. That was awesome. But I like yours with the food already. That man, I can live with that. Now, I mean, I guess if I gained a spouse out of it, that would be equally good.
It's really good. Yeah.
but I'm liking this gourmet cooking and cleaning. I
Mhm.
mean, come
Ain't got to
on
worry
now.
about
And how about? I'm
I said,
sorry.
I ain't got to worry about that part at all.
Wow. And how about the ones where the person like I've heard these stories too. People that help you out during your hard time. Um, there's these stories about people were roommates, and then one of the roommates lost their job, and they didn't like kick them to the curb or whatever. They helped them find a job, or helped out until they could
Right.
take care of themselves. They didn't break up the relationship.
Mhm.
Because you never know what tomorrow brings with anyone,
Right.
and with somebody to sit there and be with you
Mhm.
and
Right.
help you
I think you
through.
got to be careful with roommates too, because I think that's what people do. I think they go in and they split everything, and then they're like, okay. And then if something happens to another person, what do you do?
Right,
I get,
right.
what I'm saying? It is cheaper with a roommate, but I would always put something to the side, make sure you're good, just in case either you or the other person,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, come across. some crazy.
And it could be, yeah, it could be good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have to be they just awful person.
Right, because life
It
is.
was good intentions, and it went wrong, especially in the world we live in today, man. Jobs ain't. They kind of like we were talking about earlier, like life. None of that's promised to you. You can't promise tomorrow.
Mm,
So that could happen. You know, I think with my former roommate, the therapy sessions that we would have, sometimes they'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's like you're sitting down talking about this that
mm,
happened, that in life, and having that, that having somebody to talk to when you're going through it, So that's helpful.
definitely.
Those are all good
Yeah.
things. That's the good stuff. Now let's have fun. Some of the bad. Now they ain't getting the ugly yet. The bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some of the bad could be going back to the first thing we said with the good about the splitting the bills fairly and on time. Those people that just refuse to pay anything on time or pay anything actually. They say they'll pay it, but
James, like, mm-mm.
and, and I try not to pull a credit report on folks because life happens and things. But there's some people that just wouldn't pay Jesus Christ a prayer. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that wouldn't pay attention.
Jesus Christ.
They just don't pay.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
They won't pay at all. And now you stuck footing the bill. And the funny thing about them creditors, like you said, if it's in your name, they don't want to hear that. Well, you see, I got this roommate and
Mm.
they don't want to hear that. Like, it's in your name.
Say your name.
We expect payment on,
Okay.
or, you come there and whatever that utility is off. That's what happens.
Definitely.
So, and then another example of things I could think would be rough is like those little habits.
Mm-hmm.
People have little habits that drive you insane. Do you have some little pet
Like,
peeve or little
like what?
of some?
I'm trying to figure out what habits you talking about.
Okay, I've got a pet a little thing like I guess we can call it a pet peeve.
Mm-hmm.
If you use your napkin or you use a sheet of paper towel,
Mm-hmm.
please throw that in the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I see it an hour from now, the next day, 2 days later, just balled up in the corner over here? Why didn't you just take that and put it in the trash can?
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds small, but because it
Mm-hmm.
is. But over time, when it's every day and it's all the time, after a while, I'm like, wait a minute now. 'Cause- and then I once spoke up on it. I was like, well, then can you like just throw it in the trash? And then it was like, well, I think I just hang on to it because I might have to use it later. So you just hang on to dirty paper towel to use later? I mean, so if you wipe your nose with that and then you gonna hang on to it. See, it's stuff like that. That drives me. And I know that somebody's probably gonna watch this and go, nah, it's a small thing. But it's them small things like that that can drive you insane.
I mean,
Can
but
drive
those
you.
are little things that can add up. But I think that those are small things that you can kind of talk about and be like, okay, can you do this? Or this bothers me. And then that way the person knows and people adjust to each other. You know, my thing was, oh my God. I hate, I hate dishes in the sink. I hate if
Mm.
people eat and don't scrape your dishes off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind if they're in the sink.
Yeah, the whole plate of food still in the
You just
sink.
say, I'm just gonna dump the whole thing in the sink. I mean, the garbage is supposed to go there. You're
Uh,
not gonna try to push it down the garbage disposal. No, just throw it in the sink. And I hate.
no, because they probably got dishes on the side where the garbage disposal at. If they
I don't mind people sleeping. Like if you want to sleep in the living room, you can do that. I don't care. But put your stuff up. Like like we have a late night and we, on the couch watching a movie or something.
Right.
fine. And if you happen to leave it on the couch that night, that's fine too. But I shouldn't see it 3, 4 days later.
No.
The
No.
blanket
You
and
you y'all
the
just
blanket and the empty popcorn bag still sitting on the couch.
and your slippers and your robe, all that still on the couch.
So you're just gonna leave all that there, huh? All of it,
No.
you know?
Yeah.
Not gonna
That
move. No,
that
no.
that would get old.
Yeah, so that'll be my issues. I just be like, oh my God. I just, I'm thankful. I think no, I did have to share a bathroom once when I had a roommate. Besides military stuff, I
Mm.
did have a roommate when I was like 19. We shared a bed, but she was cool. We didn't have no issues with that. But I would hate to share a bathroom with somebody and they were, you know, just doing things that's like no. I don't like toothpaste. I
No.
don't like toothpaste in the sink. I don't like.
And why is it there? I mean, go ahead and clean that. Clean. Come on now.
Yeah, and then a buildup of it. You
Clean it.
like so not only did you do it like one day, you did it like multiple days, and it's just a buildup of it. Like, come on now, I'm gonna need you. It's too easy because the water is on when you brush your teeth. So I need you to use that same water. Take your
And clean
Yeah,
the
take
sink.
your hand and scoot it down. Take some tissue, scoot. I don't care how you get it out, but yeah, I'm gonna need you to get that out.
Yeah, that's disgusting. And hair all over the place. Like you got hair in the sink. I clean your hair up.
Yeah,
Especially if you're a dude and you shave and just leave the shavings.
and I think
Come
that's
on.
just a talk. I think you have to have people. So like my grandson, when I was living with me and my daughter stayed together. My oldest always took a shower in my bathroom. And I just had to tell him, like, because his hair would shed. And I was like, you clean up, but that hair, I can't do it. You got to take the
Yeah.
shower head or do whatever you do and clean that hair up, do what you got to do. But yeah, you can't leave the shower with all that hair laying around. So, it was a
Yeah.
conversation we had and he fixed it. And I was like, there
Right.
we go. If you want to keep using this shower, because, it was like 5 of us in the house, so it would have been 4 of them using that shower, and then I had my own room with the shower in it, so it was just me. So I was like, "Yeah, you can definitely come in, but
Right.
you got to leave it like you found it."
And see, that's another conversation. I guess that's another podcast for another day. Because my thing is about can you talk away a habit? If it's truly habitual, are you gonna be, able to talk? Because I don't see people change. They might just stop doing what they're doing, but if it's a habit or something that's been lifelong, they get right back into that same old habit. If you don't say nothing,
Yeah.
they right back to it again. And you sitting there like, okay, why these dishes in the sink again?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I thought we had this conversation. Why these hair shavings? Why is that dirty paper towel still not in the trash basket?
Yeah,
That,
I think it's a a multiple conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just gonna happen once or twice, maybe not even 3 times. It's gonna take probably some time.
yeah,
So,
yeah, because it's literally a
yeah,
habit.
because it's a habit. So you got to get that person out of that habit, and then and the little
Mm,
reminders without harassing the person and be like, look, remember we had this I know that's okay for you, but yeah. So like I had to be a roommate with one of my friends when I was in the military. She had a little girl and I had my 3 kids. But with 3 kids, it's always it ain't dirty, but it's a mess. So he was like, you can stay with me, but you got to make sure you pick up because you and them be tripping. But guess what? When I was there, because I was self-conscious, you know what I'm saying, of somebody else's space, I made sure, you know what I'm saying, that, okay, nope, y'all got to make sure nope, pick them shoes up. Nope. How you going to drop your jacket right there? You need to pick it up and put it over here. You just got to be
right.
self-conscious of somebody else's space and their energy. And then I think, you work it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. You can. You can make it work. But we talking about the bad. So we got to talk
Yeah.
about it. What about the things household needs that they never
Oh
replace?
my God. Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
you know, and I'm not even saying. to buy it, because maybe y'all can split up. Well, you buy the paper towels, I buy the toilet tissue or whatever. I'm talking about when it's there. Like, so for instance, like you mentioned about using same bathroom or whatever else, but it's the toilet paper's in the house, yet you never are the one that put it on the roll. I somehow I go in there and it's just no
Nope.
paper.
Yeah.
I mean, can you replenish
Yeah.
sometime?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's another bad roommate trait. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't, and because I'm a temperature person,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you playing with the thermostat all day long.
Oh, I hate that.
It's 58, it's 80, it's whatever you going through in life is what the temperature gauge. I don't, I can't play that.
Yeah,
No, that's
I hate when the kids did that. So I'm glad now, like with this one in here, you can't. I can play with the temperature. It's
yeah,
set, so it's set, to me. But like if she says she's cold or whatever, that's why I have, you go buy a fan or you go, what I'm saying, get you so that everybody can adjust, and it's just not based on one person.
yeah.
But temperature
It,
that up and down, on and off, yeah, I can't do that either. I'm just like, it's too much.
I can't. I can't do that. And plus, nor can the electric company, because your bill gonna be
Oh yeah,
out of this world
the more
if
you
you
fluctuate,
constantly adjusting.
the more you fluctuate that thing, the more your bill gonna fluctuate higher.
So, um, bringing company over without warning.
Oh, that's so
You
horrible.
ain't tell me that. And here's, I walk in the house, I'm tired from work, and there's 7 people sitting in the house. Oh, yeah, I gotta tell you, Joe and them was coming over. We gonna watch the game.
Yes.
I'm feeling like Joe and
Ooh,
them.
company, that's a
I'm feeling like
yeah, just
I'm feeling like strangling you, because you should have told me something on my way home.
because you had a long day and you just
But
come home and chill.
but I had a roommate that would do that. Not only that, he would go as far as to, oh yeah, here's Joe and them. And by the way, since you up, you mind running over to the store and grab
Oh
some?
no, baby, no, no, we're not doing that. We are not doing that.
First of all, I don't want the company. Now I'm gonna go get some goods and snacks for everybody that I don't want here in the first place.
Right?
No, thank
Yeah,
you.
like yeah.
Appreciate the offer,
Mm-hmm.
but no.
Yeah, y'all got to be on the same page when you roommates. 'Cause you kind of
And you got it
your personalities kind of got to match. Because one
right.
person to be one
It
way and
does.
the other person, so you got to kind of mesh your personalities and hope for the best.
I'm telling
Hope.
you. And I don't like. I'm a loud person
Mhm.
by nature, but I don't like really loud telephone calls. I don't know why your phone on speaker and I'm hearing
I
everything.
cannot talk because that is me. I'm the speaker girl.
I mean, I'm like, I'm hearing it all. Y'all talk about stuff that I should know. And,
That is me.
I'm, you know, again, we ain't got the ugly yet. We just talking about the bad,
That's okay.
the stuff that can be
I'm,
slightly,
my roommate does the same thing. Maybe it's a girl thing because yeah, I'll be on the phone and I don't know. It's something about putting the phone to my head. And I don't even like the buds. I don't like them. So yeah, you gonna hear me talking.
And the thing about, and I know you mentioned buds,
Mm-hmm.
that's a Galaxy thing. That's a Samsung. I see you with the Androids.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't like them either, and it's not an Android thing. I don't like AirPods.
Yeah, I just don't like.
They don't stay in my ear.
Yeah. Oh, downstairs.
I go, yeah, I go to the gesture, or I could be chewing and it'll come out my ear.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got funny shaped ears, I guess, because I could be, eating a sandwich and
Yeah. I'm not.
I don't like them. And then the buds, they in my ear.
Mm-hmm.
The Galaxy Buds. Boy, we giving a lot of sponsorship dollars out here. We need to start talking to some of these companies, but yeah, and then I'm talking like this. Yeah, so I was, I'm yelling.
Yes.
Either way, it's not good. It's just no. They haven't come out with one I like yet. Yeah, they have it now. Janelle got the ones that wrap around the ear.
Yeah.
I may have to try those.
Those are cool.
They
Me
wrap.
too, even though
They
they're
look
me. Yeah.
they look neat. I don't know what they sound like. I can't
They
imagine
sound good.
music sounding.
Yeah,
They sound good. You
they're
say?
good. They're good. The
Oh,
sound anyway.
okay.
I just don't like anything in my ears. I just don't. I don't know what it is about that. But yeah, I don't do the ear thing. So yeah,
I mean, I guess everybody's a little different with that, and I can imagine, people that have had, ear trauma of some kind probably would never like anything that close to their
yeah,
ear. I remember when I first started wearing Bluetooth, and there was this guy that he came in my office, and he was like, I don't know why people, I couldn't do that. I got PTSD. He's like, I got, you know, things that happened and when I was in the war, and he's like, I can't have it on my ear like
yeah. Just
that.
something about the ear. I can do
But
it. Mm-mm.
but when the Bluetooth first came out, they were revolutionary. I had one that people, what is that thing? They thought I was talking to myself.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking and they,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. But I get it.
that was
I
funny.
will be on the phone and I will be loud and yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Lord, that all you can do is apologize. I'm sorry. You want me to go in the other room? Yeah, cause it's about to be a conversation.
Yeah, because people have had like intimate conversations that they shouldn't be having on speaker, and I'm sitting there like, okay, now I feel like a third wheel.
Yep. That's.
I'm not privy to all of this,
Mhm. Yep.
so we're gonna get into some. I still think some of these things are ugly that's coming into my head. Like the people that's gonna always do it tomorrow.
Oh,
Tomorrow never
it
comes.
never come. And it never will.
It-
That, that's
It's
be mad because
I'm
I'll be
gonna
like,
get
no, you need to do it right now. And be like, no, I can't do it tomorrow because I don't want to wait to see if you're really going to do it tomorrow. Like, I just
right
and you
because
there's nothing
I saw
from doing it right
yesterday.
now. Nothing's keeping you from doing it right now. Just do
Right. Because I saw yesterday. And I saw it this morning. And it wasn't done. I don't want to see
it.
tomorrow.
Right.
You know.
Right. Definitely.
Are the ones whose laundry become furniture.
Mm.
They're stacked up so high they sitting on it. Like it's a chair. You know.
I kiss the chair.
Oh,
Ah.
I love the ones that they mysteriously disappear when the bills are due.
Oh, yes.
You
I
know. They over at mama's house when the bills are, you don't come over here and pay this you know. Oh, and see, because I am a clothes person, a jewelry person, all of that person. You can't borrow my stuff. And for you to even ask. Now, I know there's some people that don't even ask. They just borrow, ooh, this shirt look nice. Now that would be that gets into the ugly now. We ain't even in
and
bad.
you keep
But even the person that asks,
hmm
that should not even be an ask. Like, no. Because what you gonna do if you spill something on my nice item? I'm not naming any companies. We're not getting no more sponsors up in here. But if you spill on this shirt that end with an I, it
I can't. Okay.
was not made in America. You understand what I'm saying? It was flown here from Italy,
Mm, mm,
and then you just what we gonna do about that? You spill your ketchup off your French fry on my whatever.
mhm,
So I'm saying we got a problem. Now we got a new problem. Cause you barely paying the rent. You ain't gonna be able to buy that shirt or replace that shirt. So
mhm.
no, don't even ask. It shouldn't even be a question. It's a no, period.
Okay.
But then you got the folks. We'll go ahead and get on into the ugly because we got the horror stories.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
see now. Let's jump right in ugly because some of that stuff is now. Let's talk about the thieves. Yo, they don't even ask. They don't even return. They just keep your stuff. They don't think it's theft. Then you see it and think, well, girl, I was borrowing it. Well, see, you didn't ask.
I didn't even know it was
You
missing.
never brought it back.
Right. Because I didn't know it was missing. I see you in it. And you just going to walk around and like it's okay? Like it was always yours? Well,
Because see, these people that do that,
I ain't seen you wearing it in about 6-7 months. That don't mean it.
so they gave you permission.
Right. That's their permission right there because I ain't seen you in it.
And the people that do these type things, see, the reason why they walk around in front of you with, because they don't even remember whose it is anymore.
That's a good one. They don't remember who. I took it from somebody. This was you? Yeah. My bad. Sure. Got it. My bad.
They just took your stuff and it's theirs now. Oh, and I don't like the ones that bring the drama. You know, I guess I could put it this way, like they're on a reality show. You know, they can't talk to you or others, like we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the voice is way elevated. You know, they use a bunch of slang, way too many gestures. You know, I can't live with people like that. You know, like, you hit me, why you took my, I need you to back up. I need you to use the King's English.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to put your hands to your side. Cause see all of that movement right there, a little much. Can't live with the drama. That's why I never had like a baby mama. I can't do that.
Baby mama.
No, coming all over to the house and they'll say, I tell you what no, all that movement, all that gesturing. No, I'm getting traumatized thinking about it. I can't live with somebody like that for darn sure. Now, you as a roommate, we gonna have to find separate rooms and separate addresses because this ain't gonna work. It just got real ugly. How about the ones that leave them passive aggressive notes? You walk by the refrigerator and they got sticky notes. They
don't talk to you, just leave notes laying around everywhere.
They don't say a word. They not in your face. They not the drama king or queen, but they the serial killer type. They real quiet. It's just a note. It's just a thought.
I am only laughing because I have been the serial killer writer.
Oh Lord, you the serial killer.
Because with my kids, when I've lived with them, we roommates because we both paying the bills because I'm helping people out and stuff. But you get on my nerves or you do something, and I feel like if I say something, it ain't gonna go right. So I write a little note, and so I know this part. They probably will be like, "That's my mom right there. She just leave notes, nasty notes around the house."
They gonna be like, she the one told James to bring that up.
Yeah. I'm the note leaver. I am.
Yeah. That type.
Yep.
That type.
Because I feel like if we talk about it, it's going to be an issue. So to keep from getting to that level, I'm just going to write this note. You read it. You take your time. You think about it. Feel it out. When you feel like it's okay, then we can come back. We can talk about it.
Or maybe, what about sneaky people?
Mm-hmm.
I can't really put them in a category. They just slick and slide and smooth. They just, I'll give you an example. Okay, so I had put my car in the shop, right? And so that's how I had the exact odometer reading, right? Because they put the exact odometer reading on when they return, right? So I drive it home, which was like 5 miles down the road. So I know exact miles on the car. And I put it in the same place every day. And then one day I come home and it was in the same place. But I got in it and the miles was different. You know? So I'm like, well, no, maybe. And then I said, no, it was bothering me. I laid down. I went back. I said, I got the paper from the mechanic. See, the miles was, I calculated. It should have exactly that amount of miles. Yeah, there's about 30 miles over there.
Mm-hmm.
This fool ain't driving
Mm-hmm.
my car.
Yeah.
I know. I know that's not what I think I'm thinking. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I feel like a fool, like Eminem said, for thinking about having them thoughts thought up. You know, I feel crazy. I'm like, ain't no way, because they know how I feel about that
Mm-hmm.
car. Ain't no way they. So what I did was, instead we had this thing right out front where it would have keys. You know, we just hang the keys there. So I bought one that locks,
Mm.
hung it in the same place. Locked the. If I was gone, it was locked.
Okay. Okay.
And I have to have that problem no more. But I shouldn't have had to go there. You know what I mean? Like, honest. A matter of fact, I still got the key with the lock
Mm.
thing. You know, and so the kids were like, "Why you got a key thing that locks?" You know, and tell them the
Yeah.
story. But yeah, it's weird that people that just be
Mm.
sneaky
And they
like
can
that.
do stuff.
Um,
Let me tell you, when me and my ex-husband was married, we were stationed in Fort Bliss, and one of his friends spent the night. When we got up in the morning, the car had a dent in the back. It was back in the same spot. I couldn't tell you about the mileage because I wasn't looking at that, but there was a dent that wasn't there when we went to bed. So it's like, what happened? Yeah. And then we even called the MPs. They came, they looked at everything, and they were the ones who discovered, because the guy was still there. It was his friend. He was still at the house. And we was like, and they were like, however they figured it out, they were like, the car had been moved. And we were like, well, no, it's been sitting there. So, we were under the impression that maybe somebody drove by, you know what I'm saying, and hit the car. They were like,
right.
no. So they figured it out. And yeah, I was like, so you go to sleep at night and somebody just take your vehicle and that's it, huh? It didn't
And
look
that's
you in the
all.
face like they ain't did nothing wrong.
Don't think nothing else
Yeah.
about it. It's just what
Yeah.
happened. Live with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you did it, McCall, on top of that.
And still in your face, like, wow, what happened?
Like nothing
Mm-hmm.
happened. See, that's the sneaky time. And while we on the we on
Mm-hmm.
ugly and we on
Mm-hmm.
sneaky. So tell you this story. All right, so I had this the same roommate that we talking about. All right, and it, now I can't call him sneaky. It was his girl.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll leave, like he go to work, and his girl. So I'm not thinking nothing of it, right? That you know, that's I'm not that dude, right? So, but anyway, I'm gonna go grab a snack or something at the kitchen, and she walking around with nothing but a thong on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ma'am.
And she thinking, sir, don't you see this?
Yeah, no shame in her game at all.
Mhm.
Just no shame. Now that put both of us in a precarious situation, because you know what I can't say nothing because it's gonna be like he ain't believe me, and then she say, well, your boy be looking at me. He doesn't. Yeah, no,
No.
it just wasn't working. Like so then but that's sneaky behavior. But there's also some people that sneak around. I mean, you know, I guess they could be like that. They could be, like you had that situation where you had the male friend in the house, you know, if he became a roommate, imagine if he was trying to hit on you or something like that. That's that sneaky behavior that get people
Mm-hmm.
killed.
That's what it is. But people, I don't know, and it's just when you live with somebody, it's about trust also. You know what I'm saying? If
Yes.
I leave
Yes.
something right there, I know it's gonna be there. I ain't gotta worry about, hiding nothing or putting something up because you might take it or do something. I don't have to worry about, if I'm not home, you in my room. Looking around doing something.
Right.
I don't have to worry about if I'm in my closet doing something, you standing behind me with a phone recording my happy butt. You know, just like what? What are we doing? What are we
Oh,
doing? I'm just
you mentioned
I'm
recording
trying to
you.
understand. I'm trying. I promise.
You know, I couldn't with that. And I guess that's a real thing in this generation, in this
Because
time
everybody got
period
their phone.
of people
Yes.
recording
If and everything. Nothing.
video or
It ain't no
otherwise.
privacy no more. There's just not. It's just, what? That's free game. It's okay, like um, if my situation, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing something to my closet, you know what I'm saying? Redecorating it, getting it, organized or whatever, and got somebody over here doing some measurements because they want to put some stuff up. That's my business. You know,
Right.
if I'm not sharing it, you don't get to share it.
If you ain't on live,
Right. Putting it out there, you know what I'm saying? And for someone to come, and I think that you're just excited about my excitement. And I don't even realize you recording me, and then I hear later that it's on Facebook. What?
oh,
How
that's
you
wild.
how you put what I'm doing?
Wow.
You want to do something exciting in your life, in your room, go do that. Don't come into my
Go
room.
right you hit.
And then you're looking at me
Oh
like I'm
wow.
crazy, like, what am I upset about? Are you serious right now?
Okay.
I'm upset about.
Okay. See that I'd be beyond upset.
Man,
I'd be beyond
when
upset.
I tell you,
I can't
just belong.
imagine. I can't
Yeah,
imagine.
just belong. So that causes a lot of trust issues though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
Even
God.
if, I'm saying, okay, we didn't got over it, we talked about it, we good, but the trust is gone.
Yeah. I can't trust you far as I
Yeah,
can throw you.
the trust is literally gone. I don't trust you anymore. Period.
And in my life, those are the two top things. Because I think everything else falls into place. If there's trust and
Trust and
loyalty,
loyalty.
all the rest of it can fall into
Mhm.
place. But if I can't trust you, and maybe I just grew up watching too many Godfather movies or something like that. Because when I couldn't trust you
Mhm.
anymore, you weren't no good anymore. You don't. Matter of fact, you not only don't exist in their mind, you don't exist at
Mhm.
all because they
That's
can't
right.
trust
Trust is
you. You
gone.
know,
It's gone.
and when that's gone in a relationship, whether it's roommate or what have you, then what do we have? If we don't have trust, I can't trust you.
Hmm.
What do we
We
have?
ain't got nothing. I'm just, you know, like I said, and then I got a lot of other stuff that go on in my life that make me, what I'm saying, very, when it comes to trust, I'm just very, kind of standoffish or tiptoe around it. And trust for me is not something that I give you right away. That's something that's earned. I don't, right. I don't
Yeah,
trust you and wait for you to mess up. You know what I'm saying? And be like, oh, I had all this trust, so you got to earn that. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, that person, you know what I'm saying? I can trust them. They done did this, and we good. And then when I feel like we've reached that point and then you do something crazy and take me 10 steps back, I'm like, ooh, I meant to hit flags
yeah.
along the way. I don't know where, but I probably did. They probably was there waving in my face and I missed it. But, you know, and now that you just kind of look at people differently. You like, okay, what can I do in front of this person? Or what, I'm saying, am I even comfortable anymore
Right.
around to know, like, if I'm just chilling, are you on your phone really talking or are you recording me? You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that brings up all kinds of
Hmm.
different issues here.
Yes. So, this roommate thing, I don't know. You have to be very, very conscious of everything that goes along with it.
And you do. I mean, we talked about the good, the bad, the ugly, but and we've joked about things, but there's some things are serious. I mean, we've talked about straight up theft here. We've talked about somebody. I mean, actually, that's illegal to record somebody, without their knowledge. Um, we've talked about things that get really serious. I mean, and it's not as small as leaving the piece of tissue around, or the I didn't replenish the toilet paper. Some things can damage that relationship
Mm-hmm.
going forward, because then you got to make the real tough choice of if I can actually stay with this person or not, because now we got to make life changing
Right.
choices. um for me, some things are bigger than
Mm-hmm.
others. Like I can't do the recording thing. I've had too many incidents in my life, where there was distrust, and so when we get to that level, I can't do it. But then again, for those of you who can, you, if you do, are the audience. If they can forgive and forget, somebody got to make it to the kingdom of God, right? So somebody got to be forgiving and loving. Somebody's gonna be in that number, right? I just don't know if that's me.
Right.
That I'm that dude that can, because it's sometimes you just cross the line,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to tell people what to do, because there's things that I've forgiven that I shouldn't have.
Right. Right.
I should have, this, that, and the other. So I ain't gonna tell somebody else what to do. But I don't know, that would be my one right there. That recording
Yeah.
me,
Crazy. Crazy.
Facebooking me. And again, it's this generation. I'm not saying the persons of this
Mm-hmm.
generation, they should know better if they're not. But the generation that we live, that like everything's live now. Like
Right.
everybody is a reality show.
Because I promise you, like,
I
I mean, I just did. I'm like, whoa, like, no, that's something personal. You don't do that. But I know multiple people who do stuff like that. If you tell somebody something, you talk about something, they'll automatically go look it up. You're like, man, we having a conversation. You looking up what I'm telling you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you know what I'm saying? Or if you tell somebody, oh yeah, I was at this spot, they looking up the spot that you was at. Oh, I know that restaurant. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. No, like I don't like
right.
I don't like the times that we're in right now where everything is just so open and exposed.
Yeah,
There's no privacy anymore. You
I'm
you
not a
just can't
fan.
talk to people. You talk to people and they just automatically typing it up, putting it in.
Yeah. Yeah, or typing you up. You tell them
Oh
your
yeah.
name, and they didn't research you. I noticed the other day when I was looking you up on
Yes.
LinkedIn. What?
Yes. And tell you that's what they doing. Tell you, be like, oh yeah, looked you up and I saw, yeah, so you got what's the misdemeanor you got? What?
Yeah, I saw you had a felony charge back in 2008. Were you convicted, or was it just a charge?
And you can't talk to your girlfriends. You talk
What?
to your girlfriends talking about your man and you say, girl, he oh girl, you know what? You can put that little thing, that little tag thing in his bag, find out exactly where he at. So we
Oh
just we
God,
just talk to people for real now? That's what we do?
we stalking folks.
And be
Oh
you
my
don't even stalk
gosh,
people no more. You just put the little tag on them, let them go.
they like a dog with a collar. They just walking
I
around.
like
I guess that's the way, because that's the way women see men anyway. We just dogs anyway, right? So you just put
yep,
a collar
yep,
on him,
yep. Take them down.
so you can tell where he
But
at.
I
Can't
just
trust him.
wow that there's no, and I'm not saying, if somebody's doing something, yeah, you do what you got to do. But I'm just like, technology has taken over so much that there's no even effort to do anything. When my man was
No,
doing wrong back in the day, I had to get in the car, sit behind him in his car, and follow him. Look,
right? Yeah, the old
talking about
fashioned way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
But
old
no,
fashioned way.
nowadays you just put the little tag in there, sit in the room in your bed, click the button, and be like, "Yep, I see exactly where you are, where you've been." I know the direction you hit it in.
Oh my God. Another reason why when I set up the children's show, I had to have another RSS
Yeah.
feed. See, because conversations you and I
Man,
have, the kids should not be privy to said conversations. But yeah, you can pretty much, yeah, to the position
yeah.
pretty much, but what about this? All right. Wow, I'm just reaching off camera. The sad thing, the way it gets real sad, the world we live in.
Oh, you
Now
putting on the
these
glove.
are
That's
actually
a
a gift.
shame.
This was a gift, but I can click this button here and record you, what you're saying, all of that, and it's meta, so I can instantly send it to
Mm.
Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Now again, we're not giving our sponsors. People know who make these.
Mm-hmm.
But it's become
It's
reality. It's now becoming where people are having to set up. We've heard of lawmakers and all trying to set up new rules and laws about said product because somebody could be sitting there and they got the ones now. Those are sunglasses, but somebody could be sitting here with you with their glasses and just click it and then they're recording us.
and it's
So like your friend that recorded or your roommate that recorded you and your closet
mm,
specialist, they can be recording you at
stop.
any time. You can be sitting at the table, dinner
You don't
table,
know.
or in the car, or what have you.
Mm.
Recording you all the time.
Oh,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And back in the day when your man was doing stuff in the dark, they don't do that no more.
mm-hmm.
Oh, they don't do that. Everybody's a professional porn star
Oh,
now. So you ain't really gotta chase him no more. You can just get access to his phone
yeah.
or his
Yep.
iPad or what have you, and he probably got some video on there of him and some other chick.
Yes.
So and it's dated and
Yes.
it's time.
Yes. Yes.
That's why women be wanting access to your device
Mm-hmm.
now. Like let me check your phone. Uh. You remember one of the best scenes in The Best
Mm-hmm.
Man was when she asked to borrow well, he was her husband. She asked to borrow his
Mm-hmm.
phone, and then the Terrence Howard character
Oh,
took the phone and
yes, sit
smashed
down.
it.
Yes. Right.
I mean, as your boy, I gotta save
Yes.
you. And then,
Yes. Yes.
and then she was like, "Well, what's wrong with him?" And then he goes, "Well, he's not well. He's." I'll just call and get another phone tomorrow. Yeah, you know how special it
Yeah.
is. But we live in that world now. And so, I mean, I'm glad you kind of brought that up because, man, I mean, having a roommate, you got to really think about
Yep.
privacy because you don't have it no more. Somebody can set up cameras in the house you don't
Mm-hmm.
see. They can have cameras on their face, like we just talked about. It could be a number of ways we can sit here and discuss of how you can become a public figure and not
Right.
know it.
Right.
You can be on the internet. There's a series of shows set up about you. You're a sitcom
And
and
we
didn't
know
know
it.
it.
Even- And people don't
It's
do or
it's
nothing
really
no more. They
awful.
just don't. They be like, whatever. They
It's
be
really awful, and
they
that's a
be looking
sad
for that
world.
gratification. Yeah, I got sued or yeah, whatever, but he ain't gonna play with me no more. She ain't gonna play with me no more. They know.
That means at the get go, we gotta set up when we start talking about
Yeah.
roommates. We gotta set up
You gotta have
expectations.
expectations
It's a
to be
conversation
here in the
I
time,
had with,
not after you move in. Right.
yeah, yeah, it has to be to be. But some things you're gonna think a person already know. So you're not gonna even know to set that expectation. Like I'm not gonna know to set an expectation of you
Right.
recording me. Cause I'm gonna think you already know common sense, which ain't so common
Mm-hmm.
anymore, should tell you that
That's
that's
not
not
right.
cool. And it's also not
Right.
legal. So when we talk about setting up expectations, we can only set up things that we think are commonplace, that we think that we all should
Mm-hmm.
know. But we don't know what you don't
Right.
know. So even that's going to be
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, but in setting up them experts, we just talk about it in general. Man. We'll just, since, we talked about the good, bad, the ugly. We got to set them early, like you say. It's got to be at the onset. We've got to respect each other's personal
Mm-hmm.
space. We got to respect each other's um spouses or whatever else too, because there's been no roommate stories with people sleeping around, like I talked about it, whatever the old dude tried to flirt with you or whatever else. And then I had the roommate whose girlfriend walking around, thinking it's porn movie that she in. We got to communicate directly, split responsibilities clearly. I think when we start talking about the bills and stuff like that, even though it might be in one person's name, there need to be a joint, maybe an account that we have that we deposit the money in. Maybe we don't have to go down to, some local bank. We can put it in Cash App together, or we could have a Chime account or something like that where we put the money for the household needs in there, and be honest about our
Right.
finances. If I know I don't make enough to live with you, then don't go
Mm-hmm.
there.
Or if something
Don't.
happened and you're not going to have it that month or on time, tell that person ahead of time instead of having the person come to you the day or two afterwards that they were expecting the money, because you didn't have it. So why not force the person? Because
Right.
maybe they could have did something, you know what I'm saying, to pick up the slack for it.
A
But
little
now I
different.
can't pick up slack because I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know I needed
I
extra.
didn't know.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever amount it is.
Yeah.
So
That's so true. But in reality, when we start looking at things like that, we know what a great roommate is. We know what a terrible person is. But if we have I've had a great roommate, a great roommate, and they can feel like family. I mean, my former roommate, we talk every day. They can be like family, and that's awesome. But some of these roommates, they can be some legendary stories too. Some stories of legend. Like we said, we just shared a bunch of
yeah,
legendaries,
yeah.
recording you and all kinds of other things like that. That's some wild stuff. But one thing about it is living with people, it's gonna teach
Yeah,
patience.
definitely. Yeah.
It does. It teaches
Yes.
boundaries. It teaches us how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
If we weren't great communicators, we're gonna learn after living with somebody. And I think probably what we can throw to the audience. We talked about crazy experiences. I shared mine with the girlfriend. You shared yours with the recording of instances. So hey, audience, they should feel free to write in. You can follow us on Facebook. You can say stuff about us on Facebook. You can say, "Hey, I had
Mm-hmm.
this crazy moment." Tell us some of your craziest roommate stories. I think that'd be fun. Kind of like with the top 10 list. We got so many people to chime in on that. Chime in. Tell us some of these crazy roommate stories. We'd love to hear it. And whether your roommate was a blessing or a life
Right.
lesson,
Right.
let us
Let us
know.
know. Let
Because
us know.
I think I think we've had a little bit of both
Mhm.
ourselves. So anyway, we
Wrap it
go.
up.
I guess call this one. Yeah, we just said enough about the
Yeah.
roommates. We gonna wrap this one up. So I'm gonna say goodbye and say goodbye,
Goodbye,
Mico.
Mico.